One. All right, Derby week, Cup week, I should say, whatever you want to call it. So with that comes packages, Matthew. A stack of packages available if you haven't already been on with Darren Potter, Mounting Yard Mail, Steve Fletcher. $99 for the 4 days for Mounting Yard Mail. $159 I think it is for Darren Potter for the 4 days.
Okay.
The Steve Fletcher set, if you sign up for the Saturday set, you'll get Tuesday and Thursday for free.
Wow.
And then remember the Race Speed Profile Special Melbourne Cup. Race Speed Profile is only Saturdays in full, but the Special Melbourne Cup for $29, which will have every runner broken down, the full market, the betting plan, and the Race Speed Profile itself as normal, and usually marks the winner 5-2 when it's about 7 or 8-1, and marks things that are about 5-1, about 30-1, as we have every year. Lucio Valentina last year, I think we said was 50.
Yeah.
And said Protectionist was about 5-2. The year before, I think we said Fiantre was 7-2.
Yeah.
And a couple of other horses that were in the market we really took the stick to. And the Japanese horse that died, that was second favourite, I think. That was
Admire Racket.
yeah, that was about a 33-1 chance with us too.
You knew.
We knew.
Speaking of knowing, did you know about Casiano Lad as well?
Oh, the RSN stuff with Ralphie wasn't on, but with Vince on Saturday.
Yes.
And also Glenn sent it out with the Mounting Yard Mail. Can't have Casiano Lad.
What was going on?
I just said, look, because it was a bit off its head.
Right.
It was a bit off its head last start.
Yeah.
And then I've got on the radio and said, look, this horse is just saying it doesn't want to be here. It's done what it's had to do first and second up. It's showing really bad signs. Something isn't right with this horse.
Yeah.
It's unhappy.
The stewards should ask some questions. And then
Yeah, maybe. But look, I mean, look, a lot of horses do that and don't die. But and we've said tongue in cheek many a time. This horse could die on the way to the barriers, the way it's parading. Tongue in cheek. But well, I mean, we put it down to it's the horse showing signs. It knows what it's about to do and it doesn't want to be doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or for whatever reason, or it's agitated or whatever. Whatever it is, it always equates to a couple of weeks off.
It was running. It was chasing hard to the line the last 100 metres. So it obviously it's got the right attitude for a racehorse, but they don't slow down, do they?
No.
They should.
No, anyway, but when it's no longer...
Just quickly on the Coolmore race with Exosphere. The Keen Array is a good Melbourne horse. $1.40. Exosphere, $7. Keen Array, then Old Mate Mogador, $7. King Like. So $1.40 at the moment. Fair enough.
Mogador and Exosphere, they've got a bit of a history.
Yeah.
Well,
SP
Mark,
history.
you've got the $1.50 SP, Mogador in Mogador's favour.
Yeah, but then they raced at Warwick Farm and subsequently an Exosphere tailed it up at a shorter price. So remember?
All power, overpowering it.
Yeah.
And first up SPs we can...
That's right, first start Mogador SP as well.
Yeah. There's a story to Mogador, I wonder. I'll tell you the story off air.
Okay.
But,
Okay, we're going to talk about Sydney.
we're going to talk about Sydney. We are. Okay. Well, the first thing we got to talk about. Well, we'll talk about the track first off. It's soft 5, Mark. There it was. Times weren't fast, but when you're running into a 25-kilometre headwind in the straight, it's probably going to knock a little bit off.
Yeah.
And good 3, good 4 is what we're saying.
That's right.
As it always was going to be. But form guides will now say soft 5. Horses will have soft runs next to their name, all that sort of business.
Yes. So the form guide's actually retailored there because I know that I think premium form's still showing good, dead, slow.
Oh, it probably makes more sense. But anyway, so horses that are put it this way, Happy Clapper is going to have a soft win next to his name, and he can't go a yard in.
But I mean that often happens in Summerdale where you get these tracks that aren't what they are called. So once again, buyers beware. You just need to have your wits about you, and everyone loves the stats, but the stats are suspect.
Wrong. Anyway, all right. The story of the day for all of us and for anyone who's watched the show is Cody Morgan.
I hope all the administrators turned their back, pretended it didn't happen.
Well, as one person who sits next to us on our row of computers said, they will be the officials will now be trying to call these races off now after Cody's won it. Now, we've mentioned Cody, and Cody hasn't been seen by a lot of people. But if you've seen a photo of Cody, you've only got to look at Cody to know what we're saying is 100% right, don't you?
He's the nicest bloke in the world.
He's a kind man with a kind heart, Matthew.
500%.
All my friends are going to jail. Cody's a rapper. Yeah. Maybe I'm choosing to hang with the wrong people.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought I was a good judge of a person.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Like, we've spoken about the story, but sometimes in print it looks a little bit different to it. And the article online, Matthew,
Yeah.
it's
Fantastic article, and a couple of people jumped on board to share that message. Cody, he's basically spent. I read it. I was a bit surprised. $200,000.
$200,000 in legal fees defending a
He hasn't
charge.
got it, has he? Surely.
His mother and father had to sell their farm. I mean, this boy's been charged with
It's been charged with training winners, I think. Hasn't it?
with tubing a horse on race day. Now, it's just absurd that he has had to go through this, and he's still got a jury trial.
But this is all because it found its way it left racing and found its way into.
Well, can't racing and the racing minister and everybody else just get together and somehow work it out that this is just not justice. It's just unfair. And if not, then anybody who's charged with a running and handling charge or whatever else, then can be should be charged with race fixing in the time since that's come in.
Yep.
You know, I know this is a landmark case. I know this is a precedence case and all that, but how is that fair to a young bloke doing his best, and and a lovely person to boot, and that doesn't mean a lovely person. If he's broken the rules, he's broken the rules. But as I think I wrote in the article, the pub test that Mr. Murray wants to refer to, if it doesn't pass that, we don't want to be drinking in that pub.
Yep, fair enough.
Anyway, well done,
So
Cody.
when is he getting his day in court?
May is the next hearing.
May?
May. That'll make it about 3. I think it was when was Prussian? So when's the Gunnedah Cup? May, June, something like that.
Yeah,
so it'll
May.
be 3 years. Be 3 years going in there. And I'd imagine if he spent 200, there'll be another little bit there. As one tweet said, maybe the Messiah or Rick could donate back. Now, just on an aside point too, when we have given Mr. O'Shea his due course for his benefit day, and I'm not going to blame him for that as well too, because it's the people who get behind it and the sales company and whoever else that put on the day for him, and good luck. If somebody wanted to put a day for me,
you won't be knocking it back.
Bring it on. I'll sell. Buy as many raffle tickets as you can. But as an industry, we do like to pat ourselves on the back for getting behind people. Now, for everybody out there who has got behind, are you getting behind them because you're actually trying to help them, or are you getting behind it because it gives you kudos? And I think we know the answer to that a bit, don't we? Generally.
Yeah, that's what charity's about, isn't it?
Exactly right. So, there is a kid out there whose family have had to sell his farm to defend charges that we all think, it will make us scratch our heads.
Yeah.
So
it's the most absurdist thing I think that's happened in our sphere.
It's bizarre, isn't it? So anyway.
Yeah, I'd love to see someone come out and make a stand and write it.
That's why I wrote it. I'm hoping now that it's been put in print, and somebody out there in the normal journalistic world that has got a lot of more power than what we do in our little niche world here can get hold of it and go, hang on.
I do notice that you only find that story on the Punters show website, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is quite, because it is.
I saw you tagged in a couple of prominent people, hoping they'd share the maybe that will come out. But hasn't.
I've emailed a few people too as well, and let's just see.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway,
he got the job done. He's a marvel with pretty ordinary horses.
Well, that horse
gets them winning races.
It was the best presented horse in the yard. By far, I thought. It would look outstanding, and his strike rate of winning would be very, very good at the moment. I'm not following horse racing out there.
It's through the roof.
Yeah,
he's obviously placing them very well.
Yeah.
Well, he's as you said, he places them really well. He's a real form student.
Yeah, absolutely. He's really trying to take on a lot of the theories.
That's right. He watches the Punters show.
He watches the Punters show. Yeah. He loves John Walters, the countryman. He gets his tips just to help him work out form lines. Yeah. He's just a genuine trainer doing his best to find an edge based on form and placement.
Yeah, he's working very hard. I suppose the best way that anyone out there can get behind him is to send him a horse.
Yeah.
Because that's actually one of the good news out of the week, because he was only ever granted back.
That's right.
He's owned a trainer's license. Last week he was given his full license.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to get a horse trained, that's probably the best way.
A lot of our viewers would have shares.
Some sort of admission?
I don't know what it is.
Or was he on probation?
I don't know. Well, I don't know what it all means.
If any of our viewers have horses that are not doing anything with in Metro and you want to send it back a grade,
yeah, send it to Cody. I'll put it this way: you can guarantee that nobody's going to try harder.
Yeah,
that's for sure. And he can train.
You might even meet Lily. Lovely Lil.
No.
I met Lil.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lil.
How excited was she?
She's the best.
That was just great.
I didn't see her on Saturday, but
you saw her Friday night. Yeah, okay, no, that's great. No, well done to Cody and to his family and Lauren, i.e. Lily, who
and apparently
it's stuck solid. And sticking solid isn't exactly the most common thing in 2015. So well done.
And not well done to the punter that butted up 10 seconds later at Armadale. Cody had $1.40 shot.
Somebody had 70,000 on it and it's run second last.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Okay.
That's racing.
I suppose the highlight win of the day is Happy Clapper, Mark.
Is it?
I don't know. It's the horse with the most potential, I suppose.
All right. But I suppose the headline horses would be, the headline horse is probably Mr. Manhattan, who Joe Pride has managed to rack up 2 wins on the way back.
But I think both of those fall into the same category, which I wrote as Goodera than the other ones. And Goodera, and Aaron made the point on Saturday too, that the Goodera horses have got more chance of winning now on the firmer tracks than they do in the winter where fitness becomes an issue. The Goodera runs, Happy Clapper, Goodera, Mr. Manhattan, unsuited at 1,000 metres, Goodera, and that can prevail.
Well, see, but Joe has this history of sprinters.
Yep.
You know, they attract a lot of attention. So I think we need to sort of just dissect this horse and talk about
beautiful ride,
what sort of scope it's got. Because I mean, you know, it did have to contest the finish with a horse that's lacking in a bit of ambition. And other than that, the field looks a little hollow, but I guess the horse still has some capacity to improve.
We've got plenty of upside, Mark. I mean, it didn't parade poorly, but it was definitely not rock hard fit, that's for sure. But you can get away with that at 1,000 metres. But there's definitely plenty left in the tank.
And as a type, Dal, because I mean, we wondered about this horse through a couple of preparations. He led all the way to win at Canterbury last preparation, and then he found some wet tracks. But is he
he's not a wet
on-pace
track
1,200 metre horse, or is he an off-pace 1,100 metre horse?
He's a relatively big-sized boy. Yeah, so I'd say definitely dry. And he's not a bad look. He's a nice enough type. Yeah, good type of horse, and with scoop.
Right, and segueing into his stablemate Rocksturdy, who was pretty friendless on Saturday and seemed to attack the line quite well.
Yeah, it might be fit in 2016. It's
still struggling.
I don't know. It must go through the Macca's drive-through on the way or something. But
that's something I've noticed. You talk about horses that are a long way behind, thinking, they need 1 run, 2 runs, whatever. Who was the mayor of Gaze that came back midwinter and eventually won a race? Marty. Never seen again.
No, that's right. Exactly. No, he wasn't.
You'd mention these horses going, they still need a run. And they always still seem to need a run.
Yeah, I know exactly. And look, he was on the backup with a float trip. So it's still. I mean, he is a big boy. He's a gross boy, and he's never going to be trimmed down. Absolutely. Like an anorexic horse or anything like that. But he's still, that run will bring him on.
I noticed the Gadfly tweeted, call Triple O Rocksturdy murdered there. What did you think?
I did a look at the replays. I didn't see that.
I mean, obviously it was 3 deep on a solid speed, very solid speed. But I mean, he certainly had the advantage of not being on the inside. I would have said that Frespinol, who had to put it to Foreign Prince, was perhaps entitled to fade a bit late. And Gay's gone regulation there with Frespinol.
Gay's won a
Who
race.
is Gay?
Gay's. I need Gay back. I lose when Gay isn't firing. Gay, get back.
Please.
Rocket. But Pornichet's race. Pornichet's probably the one in the Cox Plate that's elevated as much as Winks.
Oh, okay.
So she was a little bit.
Gay had 2 runners at Randwick on Saturday, first and last.
Yeah, and
Frespinol and White Dove.
Yeah.
But White Dove had found had gate 1 and.
What about a little mention for the? Oh, I've skipped a few actually. It's the next race, but the Warwick Farm Trials for the 2-year-olds.
Oh,
the first race.
Well, that was a ridiculous price, Japan, wasn't it?
Well, that was a weird thing. It was sort of, it was a moot price to begin with, and then the ring accepted the price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was sort of like put up like, oh, we'll just try this on for size.
Yeah, exactly.
And see if it'll fit.
Yeah.
And the ring just went, oh well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Why not? We'll just keep it there. But in saying that though, did it just stay there and did everyone just basically hold their price because the general absolute lack of interest in the betting ring in the early 2-year-old races that we've seen the whole way through?
I think so.
There's just nothing doing, is there? Now, but I'll just because, and I don't want to keep bagging our show, but this isn't bagging our show. This is actually wrapping our show. Just because a horse has got a blue jacket doesn't mean it's a good horse. Yeah. Now we've seen the last 2 weeks they've gone out. They've held they've held a considerable, probably more than 50% of the market. I'm just trying to think back to last week with the 2 horses. Yeah. Well, obviously he's held 50% of the market there, and then the other one that paraded better, whatever. They've run up to their trials. And actually even more so because Shapanda paraded was off its head in the yard, and you couldn't possibly have taken $1.75.
Hasn't it gone on for forever? Like when it was Darley.
Yeah.
Everyone's like,
look, they're probably. I mean, Johnny will probably come out and eventually win his golden slipper, and it might help relax him. But just because they've got a blue jacket on, or they had the maroon and white colours on, they are going to have an equal proportion of slow horses as they have fast horses. Yep. And a filly doing what she did at home, Mark, is if she did that away, it's fair at best. Yeah. Doing it at home, it's not good at all.
I think we saw last year with the 2-year-old races, the only one that trialled at Warwick Farm that won was Ottoman.
Okay, is that right?
And we had a few that...
they have a few.
There would have been a couple after that.
I think she trialled on the Visca, on the...
Yeah, Pro Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, just be careful. It was Barrier 1. I laid it
Barrier 1 as well, yeah.
Yeah, you laid it at the place, did you? Oh, well done. Oh, good work.
Matthew Taylor, punting star. That's man of the match material there.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like that last. I thought that last race was a little bit underrated. The one, the second horses.
And I think it was a couple of years ago too. Until it gets on, you should see that there isn't any real great quality coming through the race. It's a sign of a good year with unraced horses win every week. Yeah. But
I got a new pearl, Tommy Berry. He's got to lose one to win one.
Oh, okay.
That's my new pearl with him. So he knew he rode that horse poorly last time.
Okay.
And you saw with Chautauqua, he's had a few stuff ups on Chautauqua.
Yeah.
Sort of goes. So Tommy Berry, lose one to win one.
Lose one, win one.
So I wouldn't be sacking him if anyone that's had a loss on Tommy Berry. Okay. Any trainers, give him another chance.
We can't follow Cassiano Lad. Really? Well, he didn't participate.
No.
Yeah, he
Fig Tree.
He didn't ride again.
No, that's right.
That was it.
Did he ride Fig Tree any good, or? Anyway,
that's just the race not to talk about ever again. Isn't
no,
it?
that's
race
right.
One.
Yeah.
And the other talking point about Saturday was Christian Reith going to Kembla.
It's amazing, isn't it?
What happened there?
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, who are our stars? We had Gunn, obviously, head and shoulders, then Tommy. Blake Spriggs, Winona, Jessica Taylor.
This is where we talk about number 5.
Jay Ford, yeah, okay. Who are you saying, Andrew Banks?
I was with Glenn on Friday night. I said we're about to see number 5.
Yeah.
Andrew Banks.
Andrew Banks.
I don't know who he is, but Glenn was like, I can't believe you don't know who he is. I was like, why should I? Who is Andrew Banks?
Oh, he was apprenticed to, I think, Mayfield Smith a long time ago.
I think it was Brian Mayfield Smith.
Cody Morgan said I used to ride with him.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And when was Friday?
That? Yeah, I think
15 years ago.
Yeah, but whereabouts? Out wide.
Didn't Andrew Banks end up North Queensland or somewhere like that?
Yeah. Anyway,
going back to North Queensland based on what I saw on Friday night as well.
Oh, he was panicking after 200
No, it's just
meters,
a cowboy ride. You know, it was like he just very luckily the field fell down in his face.
Yeah. I think he would have. Did he win an apprentice's title? I think
he could have.
Yeah.
Anyway, for those who don't know, he rode. Gary Nixon gave him the leg up on Mandalon Kiss on Friday night.
Mark would have responded to that.
So good on him. He's my man of the week, Andrew
Banks, man of the week,
and number 5 at the moment in Sydney.
Not going to argue with his spot. All right, anything else to...
poor old Garno, you watch him ride Cuddy a rock and he rides it inch perfect and he's just flailing and flailing about at the 200 going, I am not really a horse. You know, this man is attempting to ride me like a horse, but I'm not really a horse.
He rode the Star Horse Happy Clapper inch perfect. So that might have been the difference between winning and losing.
I think
taking that little shortcut he did.
It was definitely, because you could see him on Winetails too that he wanted to probably stay inside because he knew if he went outside, he's probably outside the lane. Yeah. But he had to stay outside. It wouldn't have mattered if she got picked up by a helicopter. But you could see when Happy Clapper he was saying, "No, I'm going to be here." Yeah. Probably a bigger horse too to be able to go bang.
It was like painful to watch. It was like, gonna get there. You're gonna get there.
Yeah. No, you knew it was the gun, and as we said, you know, gun was going to be an advantage. Jay Ford rode a winner.
Jay Ford rode the durable Zayam, who Matthew Smith has kept fresh for his last 2 wins. Look, I think the best point to come out of that was the point you made, Dal, about horses in stayers in 600 metre barrier trials aren't horses you want to take on to a race that might be run at least a little bit faster.
A little bit faster, that's right, exactly.
No, I think the Glenster was quite keen on Zayam.
Zayam, yeah, he suggested backing Zayam, yeah. Race Speed Profiles was just backing Zayam.
They did too.
Not that we can really complain too much on the day, but anyway.
There we go.
In and around.
All right. Sydney.
That's Sydney, all right. Well, let's have a look at some emails, boys.
Do we have any or just tweets? We don't
have
emails.
Well, there are a couple of emails. Should yearlings be independently valued and have a ceiling point put on them prior to auction? I think that's back to what Graham Begg was saying about whatever. Maybe if the governing body thought about looking into that sort of side of things, and where maybe, as I think Graham suggested, a lot of the problems do come from the overinflated stallion fees.
Yeah.
But obviously the stallion fees are overinflated because the sales prices are overinflated. Why are they overinflated? Maybe because it's a false marketplace. So maybe if we looked at that, rather than investigating journalists or people who are tipping who have had a couple of hundred on a horse and warning them off, maybe that might solve a few of the problems in the industry. Who knows?
Punters,
but what would we know?
Punters are putting back into the industry on turnover. Maybe some of the sale price, more of the percentage needs to go back into racing.
I just think if it was just a fair, a proper marketplace, Matthew.
But no, breeders would be up in arms if there was a ceiling put on there.
So unfortunately, the powers that be, it's in their interest to have high yearling prices, isn't it?
Of course it is. Yes. Of course it is. But okay.
So you're not going to get any type of regulation hunting down the sale.
Well then maybe should then considering the government does still oversee it, maybe the government should have a look at things and say, is everything here?
Well, they've managed to class, honestly, officialdom has managed to class racing as a circus. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a circus. We don't need to investigate, to touch whatever, because it belongs. It's outside it's on the periphery. Yeah. It doesn't really exist. It's not a sport. It's it's something else. We're not getting involved.
Cabe has sent his first time Twitter. He said a few. Seemed there was no run on whatsoever on Cox Plate Day. Not good when you bet into the early market and a bias develops against you.
Yeah, look.
That's the early
betting.
But early market shopping is all about having a fair handle on the way you think the track will play, and obviously you'll make mistakes, but your forecasting is about.
Well, at the end of the day, like for blokes watching our show who are just average punters, like a lot of the winners, serious punters, don't play like early, and because of those reasons. Yeah. You know, you're taking a gamble. You got to make sure you're getting overs. And
always remember too with the early markets, you are betting into 120%. Yeah. So like, okay, you might. You might find
130, like
really. I suppose I'm saying 120% if you can buy everyone.
Yep.
But so you're still giving away probably, I suppose, 15% on what you're going to get on race day. So you do have to be confident you're getting pretty big overs.
And there's a lot of people that think betting early is actually not good for the game. So it used to not be like that when gambling was flourishing.
Again, it's not the proper market because you don't.
So I understand what he's saying. Obviously, it pisses you off, but it's risk.
Well, it's up to the individual punter, isn't it? I mean, you're not going to make it go away.
No.
It's here to stay.
Yeah, and just do a little bit more research on your track bias.
Yeah.
And, But Darren had some comments and
Well, we normally get it right, but we got it. There was one of the days, Cox Plate Day, which we didn't get right.
Well, it's the first time it's been like that for a long time with the Friday Saturday scenario.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's it happens.
Also asked your early market bets this spring carnival and how have you fared? I don't do them.
No, I haven't had many. I jumped on.
If you had any
any
early bets, there's no way known you would have had any early bets in anything, would you?
Oh, right, as in
Futures, yeah.
No, I don't even know what's running.
No, the only horse I'm on is Bondi Beach for the Melbourne Cup at a good price, but it only beat a filly, so I'm a bit off it now.
Yeah, no,
I got double the odds.
And what about, I'll tell you what horse that interested me in the Melbourne Cup, that the Herbert Power winner, what's his name, Lloyd Williams?
Amaral, yeah, it's Michelle.
Amaral, yeah, he looked a likely type to me.
Oh, absolutely, it's dead set Michelle.
Still a good price. There was plenty of people giving it massive raps, and I was blowing up. Amaral.
Who's riding it?
Well, I think. Ooh.
It's not Hubert. Hubert's on.
No, Hugh's on Preferment at Skin and Bone weight.
Yeah,
exactly.
53.
So I don't know about that Preferment run. Is another one to look at in the.
Well, Preferment's a few. 2,000 metres into that, but yeah, who knows? Chris could start. Chris could put him in a 600 metre barrier trial and first up in the
I mean, look, Preferment's won the Vic Derby. That doesn't count.
Yeah, I know.
I realise he's 2 from 2 at Flemington. That's something, but the Vic Derby doesn't tell me that he's a 2-miler.
Well, especially in him up through
2000.
But as I said, I'll just revert. Chris Waller.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Chris Waller.
That's like
you know what I'm saying?
Stop torturing me.
Yeah, I know.
For every case you make for Preferment, you can make a million other cases for the other internationals that have more proven form. But you're going to get a price now for Preferment.
And Cabe finished off specifics when you look for betting at Moonee Valley. Such a unique target, so hard to map horses and find winners.
That's what I said at the start of the show. True rail, a little bit more swinging out wide.
Yeah.
3 metres more
fairish. Yeah.
And when it's 4 or 5, it's leaders and inside.
And what we've also found, and Darren makes the point too, it's easy to the inside rails, apart from what we saw on Saturday. Normally, it's very easy to lead and run a place.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to lead and win. Yep. Except if you see what we saw on Saturday.
Lake Geneva won on Saturday.
Lake Geneva won. What sort of race was that?
Well, we actually when we finalised the race speed profiles, and Vince and I looked at it and gone, Lake Geneva's there. We just said, get us out of this race. And we're only hoping for a report for Harlem River, which is another one of Gaze that didn't go.
That's a little pearl for you guys.
What's that?
When you find the weird one.
Lake Geneva's there, and you go.
Voodoo Prince that day. You guys are on drugs.
Yeah, but Lake Geneva, we've looked at and gone, you're in this race. This is a race that we can't be involved with, so leave us right out. Anyway. Okay. All right, Rory Hutchins continues not fulfilling commitments due to his weight. Suspend him if he does it again.
Well, I don't get this. I don't get this. Put the guy out if he can't ride the weight. Surely he needs to ride.
Keep riding, yeah, but adjust his weight.
Fine him.
Yeah, but adjust his weight to what it should be. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he needs to keep riding. Otherwise, he's not going to lose the weight. And he needs to have a ride to try and make the weight fall to keep him on task.
Send him to the Waterhouse stable as an apprenticeship.
Yeah, exactly.
And also the other thing is, I don't think this is as big a thing. This, making the weight. I'm more interested in having the jockey ride the horse that I think is going to ride the horse.
Yeah.
Than whether that jockey makes the weight or not.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Yeah. That rider's been advertised to ride this horse for 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
I
think more people.
An hour before the race, they say he can't make the weight.
Yeah, no, that's a fair call. A fair call. Ian, can Mark release reprice Winks in the Cox Plate?
5 to 4.
Oh, more than that, isn't it?
I can't see how you can make rods on, given that the original market.
She's firm into 480.
Yeah, we've taken her from 4 to 1 to close to even.
No, but even early in the week.
But repricing it's not.
I know it does.
It's one running.
Yeah.
And the horse has enjoyed a run that it was a freakish sort of run.
Yeah, I suppose what happens is she misses the start.
She's done my head in. I was against her. I'm sort of. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong. Or arrogance, punting arrogance. I think that's the right. I'm happy to make that call for the next 10 years. Horses stepping up in distance,
not
girls.
properly set up for a cross play.
I've lost on Saturday, but you won't get many Winxes emerge.
No, that's
at
right.
$5.
Oh well, you won't. No,
but maybe people are going to say
we've had 3 of those in the last 3 or 4 of those in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So more often than not. This is the comment we mentioned earlier. Perhaps Rick O'Shea and the Messiah could chip in for a lion's share of the 200Ks on for Cody. Now that would be impressive. Sacrifice a reduced choice shot. That's all you're going to do, isn't it? John, come in, say, okay, something's happened. This is now in the judicial process. We can't stop it.
Yeah.
All we can do is pay for it. Here's reduced choice. Cody, you've got his next one.
Cody gets a free serve. One of his mares.
Yeah, something like that. Well, it might be a nice thing to do for the industry, wouldn't it? Wants to step behind everybody else who's got $1 billion and you know,
we should
don't lose their livelihood and keep training.
We should do a fundraiser at some point if it's required.
Yeah, let's rattle the tin for the punters. We'll end up with 35 cents for the way everyone's going. But put it this way, you'd get a lot higher percentage donated than you would if you were putting it around the people who are.
Good point.
Whatever. How hard would it be to have benchmark races set to a plus or minus 4, i.e. each benchmark 75 could be a 79 or 71 depending on acceptance?
I think they are.
Yeah, top weight 60, limit 51. Yep. Glenn Munsey tweeted a genuine feel-good story for racing and one that questions our legal systems and processes. On
Tab said something.
Glenn said that. Yep.
Is this Glenn wearing Tab hat?
No, Glenn wearing Glenn's hat. Why is Tally allowed to be ridden more quietly?
Who is Tally?
Matt?
It was a derby.
Those
derby
tactics will diminish his chances. They didn't like charge at all, did they?
Yeah, it was out freeballing, wasn't it?
Wow, yeah. That was
why is it? Why is it, people? When it was clearly an on-pace runner.
Yeah, I know. It won a maiden, stepping up into you know proper horses, and the owners are naturally going to want to.
It'd be much easier if you just had no changes of tactics. Tally gets ridden more quietly, and people are in trouble.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, look.
But it's now officially sanctioned because they go to the stewards.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But think like an owner. If I owned a horse and was stepping up in distance and blah blah blah, you naturally think, oh, I don't want to go as hard as I went in the maiden.
But then again, when are they ever going to say no?
Yeah, exactly.
Tom said, looks like an insult to Barramilla to have ever compared it to Wine Tails now. Team Barramilla.
Team Barramilla.
But look, it's getting. Yeah. I got a tweet straight after the race. Not, gee, you know, you've tipped the first 5 winners. That's great. No, victory to Barry Miller.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, punters.
Yeah, thank you very much. Wine Tails, but watching Casino Dancer and Wine Tails in that race, you realised what an effect
what a flat run can do.
That race 2 weeks ago.
Probably especially to girls too, maybe. Yeah.
Well, you know, last week you pointed out Orion Love, and she couldn't get to the turn.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. It's a very hard thing to predict, but I think if you can get hold of it, it's great because they are coming out of such high rating races, and the market's going to like. But if you can say not and then actually get on the right wave of them, as I said, from next week, it's going to be interesting to see how that form holds up from next week on.
Yeah. And a lot of laying any of those Moonee Valley horses when they go to Flemington as well. I suppose naturally the leaders.
I was listening to how Glenn got into this. Is from Ben. Got into racing, and it reminded me of a horse trained by John Mock. And owned by Ross Evans, back from 33s to 3s and ran second. I think the name of the horse was Winston Churchill, or Green and Red Halves. Mark might remember. If you don't remember, no one will.
Yeah, Aaron's a half relation to John Mock.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, is he
uncle or something?
Is he uncle, or is he just friends with his grandfather?
Something like that.
Yeah. Yep, John Mock, who's clocks at Rose Hill, has been for years.
Yeah, and sort of a shifty Rose Hill trainer. Well, you know, like around the periphery, sort of, you know, trying to set them up.
Went to school. His kids went to the nice school, same school. Well, a couple of years older than me, but there you go.
Okay. No, I don't remember Winston Churchill, Ben. Perhaps I should.
Paul, this is on CityBet. We asked about CityBet, people who used it. CityBet is a great tool and a simple program to use compared to Betfair Evolution. CityBet has massive volume, particularly on honkers. They say up to 10 times the track turnover. CityBet is great for laying overbet favourites like old mate Marrero and overbet faves in Australia, as they only use the final Vic tote dividend for settlement.
Oh, wow.
No advantage in backing to win with CityBet unless unloading a large bet. Betfair Evolution is more advanced, user-friendly and efficient program, but CityBet is great when the time is right to lay the overbet and the under the odds favourite. Can only join CityBet by being referred by someone.
Well, why is it so big then? How is it so big?
No, I think it's probably the right people have been referred, haven't
Oh,
they?
wow.
And I'd imagine.
So this is a Hong Kong thing.
Yeah,
It
well,
might be somewhere. It's but
Right,
somewhere
okay.
both Asia.
off Asia.
Yeah,
it's
so I'd
an
imagine there's
Asian
some
thing.
very big Asian syndicates using it, mate. Double Dutch, interested to hear your early thoughts on the Melbourne Cup, unders, overs, and who are the boys' top three at this stage?
Yeah, well, I mentioned Amarilla, and I'm just trying to think. If someone could just give me a list of the horses.
Fame Game is currently
Yes,
favourite.
Fame Game.
Well,
Trip to
yeah.
Paris, Mongolian Khan, Amarilla, Criterion. Criterion's going there.
Yeah.
Criterion going there, is it?
Yeah.
Snow Sky.
So Criterion third up into a Melbourne Cup. Wow, the landscape has changed, hasn't it?
So I think, look, I'm all for Fame Game, but you know, a lot of horses did run similar races to Fame Game in the Caulfield Cup, which a few people pointed out.
The old run, that run, it's overvalued, isn't it? It seems like, look, I'd have to be Fame Game, but I don't think
You're annoyed that everyone else is tipping it. That's
yeah,
what
that's
you're doing.
exactly, and
$4
and the fact
$4.80.
that it was perceived as being dead.
My theory on it, like, happy with the Caulfield run, obviously.
Yeah.
But I look at 3200 metre form, and it's just, its form is way better than Grand Marshal, who won the Sydney Cup.
Yeah.
So
great.
the prices are relevant. But
Yeah, it's screwed down.
Yeah.
But it's the starting.
people are
point,
saying, well, why isn't Grand Marshal just as good a chance? It ran just as well as Fame Game.
What?
Yeah, a few people.
I'm
But
going
like,
to
you
get in
know,
trouble here again. Grand Marshal v Fame Game. Poor old Fame Game will start running backwards now.
First of all,
yeah, no, I'm all for Fame Game, and the corporates apparently are just sitting on some awful multi tickets, so they're $4 now.
they might shoot it. The old play.
Wow.
The old,
Anyway, I'm playing the Toads.
they'll try and kill the Melbourne Cup favourite because we've got too many doubles.
Apparently, I know one of my mates, or mate of a mate, has got one for $500,000.
That's all right.
4-leg multi for $100. And there's a million more, well, not a million, there's heaps more of those tickets going around apparently.
Okay.
Ooh,
Shoot the favourite.
Raise the interesting
Awesome.
one.
That'd be good.
Keep an eye on Fame Game.
All right.
Look, it's hard not to like Trip to Paris. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, he presented beautifully.
Tell you what, that bloke can train.
Can't he?
Yeah, because we pot the shit out of his horses because they come with nothing and they just turn up on the day. I mean, that horse's form over 3,200 metres is far superior over 20 to 24. And there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know there are Caulfield Cup runners. Caulfield Cup is just such a great springboard. I didn't see.
Tommy
the,
winning
I
the
didn't
Melbourne
see
Cup?
the Geelong Cup during the week.
It's good. Oh, well,
Oh, yeah.
sort of been my carnival, isn't it? I've almost morphed into Glenn. Like, we really liked it in the Metropolitan. Michael Walker, God
Yeah.
bless you. Great ride. Thanks for putting it in the race.
Yeah.
James McDonald gets on, puts it in the race, and you see what it's capable of.
Our Moon Quick.
What price was it on Wednesday?
There's only 20s.
Yeah,
20s in the Geelong Cup.
Nick Ashram was tipping it
$18?
strongly at like
$18,
$17. Best bet of the day.
Yeah.
I think it started about $8.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Is that part 2?
Part 2.